lot of dead and dying trees out here. So if you see me, just don't set up your tent.
Okay, I hope you like that view. I spent maybe 45 minutes watching that entire mountainside being lit up by that sunset, and it was awesome. So I decided to end the video here. Really, you can see the light was getting very dim. I really just camped in a really bad camp spot, walked I think maybe 7 or more miles out, and then for some reason shot a scene at my car finishing with my sun hoodie tucked into my pants. So pretty good spot to stop right there. Okay, so like usual, we're gonna go over why you do this hike, how to do this hike, and we're gonna talk a little bit about gear. So the first question is this the best loop in the lower 48 of the United States? And I would have to make an argument for yes. I know that the Eastern California Sierra, I kind of have a soft spot for it. I've actually been through Rae Lakes before. And by the way, I did this trip in 2022, so it took a while getting out this video. But in 2018, I did a section of the PCT and also went through this area, loved it, and I was so happy to be back in this area. You can see on the screen, I put up some other famous loops, and I haven't done the Glacier National North Circle. I really want to do that. I've been rained out of it twice. I just got up there way too late. But man, I've done part of Maroon Bells. I've seen the Sawtooths up around where that 60-mile Sawtooth Loop is. And I don't know, I just think this is like mile for mile And the doability kind of this hike is so good. All of those other hikes are really great, but there's a reason why John Muir was such a hype man for this area. There's a reason why Ansel Adams did all of his work here. It's just the views are great, the colors are great, the white granite for somehow just makes light better. And I just really enjoy this area. So you can see it in this 44-mile trail, which by the way is a really good distance to get a good survey of like what's going on in an area, but not to be too long. That's another reason why I think it's so popular, is it's really convenient length. But you can see it. It starts off in kind of a low, kind of a rainforesty type of area. You've got the river on your right. It goes to Mist Falls, and it's got a really nice place to camp on that first night. Then you start on the second day, starting to get climbing and getting high. You've got that awesome bridge, which I think may be out of order this year. Rae Lakes, if you didn't know, just reopened in 2024. The winter of I think 2022 into 2023 really messed up a lot of the Sierra. It was a huge winter. It was something like 400% more normal snow. Yeah, so it really kind of took that bridge out, took a lot of areas out, including roads to the trailhead. So I think that bridge is out that you saw me walking across. Then you get up to Rae Lakes, and Rae Lakes is just beautiful. One of the regrets I have, and this is one of the main reasons why you do this trip, is go up there, camp at Rae Lakes, but save a night for 60 Lakes Basin. You can see on the map here that there's this little area above Rae Lakes called 60 Lakes Basin. And when you see all of those little ponds and those little teeny lakes, that's usually a good sign that you're in a beautiful area up in the mountains. So I actually kind of want to go back and visit it that way. Okay, so that's a little bit about why you do this trip. Let's talk about how you do this trip. And it's an interesting kind of area because there's several ways to do it. You can do it clockwise. That's the way I recommend. It's the better first day climb. Plus you get Mist Falls on the first day. If you do it counterclockwise, the first climb, it's a lot. It really is a lot. So if you're going to do it counterclockwise, give yourself some extra time or be in very good shape. But really, one of the ways that I want you to look at on how to do this trip is go over Kearsarge Pass. Do it from the east. So if you go to Onion Valley, go over Kearsarge Pass, and you can see it here on the map. You get Kearsarge Pass view, which is a beautiful view. You get to see Forester off to your left. You get to see the whole valley laid out below you. And then you get to hang out maybe Kearsarge Lakes Basin, or not the basin, but just Kearsarge Lakes. I still don't think you can camp at Bullfrog Lake because there's a long-term study going on there. Somebody check me if I'm wrong about that. But then you can go down to Lake Charlotte. Okay, that could actually be your first night. You get to hang out at Lake Charlotte all day long. Come back up, go over Glen Pass, hang out on Glen Pass, drop into Rae Lakes, or on that next day up to 60 Lakes Basin, then come down and then see Rae Lakes. That would be a really good way too. It's not a convenient loop. You're gonna have to back out the same way you came, but there's just a little bit more on that trip, I feel. Plus the permit's gonna be easier. I tried this in 2022. The first time I got rained out. There was a monsoonal pattern. I really wanted the video to be good with just views, not like rain drama, storm drama. So I backed out. I went and did other trips up in Wyoming and the Sawtooth. And when I came back, I also walked up to get a permit. Both times I got a walk-up permit, okay? The loop is very competitive, but they always reserve some for walk-ups, and both times worked for me. But I think if you want real security in it, if you wanted to do it over Kearsarge, I would feel like that would be even easier to get. Also, how to do this trip, I did it on the cheap that year. If you really want to know 2 cheap camping spots, I have them linked below. It's an area where Sarah and I have stayed for free on forest roads. It has pretty good easy access into Kings Canyon. And also there's one spot in Kings Canyon where you can get first come first serve camping, and I'll put that linked below as well. Okay, lastly, let's talk about gear. It's one of my favorite subjects. And in the video, I'm using a Z-Pax duplex that I had for a while. I just sold it, and I was kind of thinking about how much I missed that tent as I was making this video. So I sold the Z-Pax duplex because I needed a little bit of cash and I don't like things laying around. But what I really liked about that tent, and what I think I might return to in the Z-Pax duplex Lite, there's a lighter version of it, what I really liked in those tents is that they don't have a zipper on the outer doors. Zippers are known to kind of be a failure point in tents, and they're good for storm worthiness. So if you need that kind of thing for storm worthiness, if you're a little bit exposed when you're camping, go for it. But like I've always said in my videos, I usually always have a windbreak or some sort of cover, like a stand of trees to camp in. So I'd rather dispense with the zipper and just have the simplicity of that door. The other thing I like about the Z-Packs Duplex Lite is that they've lightened the floor up, okay? And it may seem odd, but I don't mind that, because in the Sierra especially, carrying a poly cryo ground sheet with you is a good thing, because a lot of times all you want to do is just cowboy camp. If the weather is so good that you could just sleep under the stars, just do that. When I did that big section of the PCT, most nights I did that because everybody else was doing it, and it just makes sense. There's no setting up tents. It's just super simple to just throw a ground sheet down, put your pad down, put your sleeping quilt down, and go to sleep. So I like that Z-Packs did lighten up the floor, because if you have a poly cryo sheet, that can do the protecting of your floor. And once that wears out, you can replace it, but you still have a tent floor that's still doing really well. I kind of wish most tent makers would do this idea, even like Hilleberg tents. What I would really like to see a manufacturer do is have like a 30D rainfly, so you know like it's a really strong rainfly in the wind, and then like a lighter floor, like a 20D floor, so you can just kind of build that poly cryo ground sheet into the system, enjoy the weight savings and kind of the modularity of that system. I actually think I will get the Z-Packs Duplex Lite. I want to try it out. It's also lightened up. They narrowed the floor down to 40 inches. So you get my favorites in a tent. You get a wide floor, it's 40 inches wide, and you get the cross ventilation. So those are two things I really like in a single person tent. If any of you have the Z-Packs Duplex Lite, let me know, especially about the guy lines. The guy lines seem pretty thin, but that's also something you can change yourself. But overall, tell me what you think of the Z-Packs Duplex Lite. Okay, if you've made it this far with me, we're in the deep end together. Feel free to add me to Instagram. On Instagram, I'll do updates about what I'm up to, trips I'm going on, bits about gear, and just general Instagram things.